Well, hello everyone again. Welcome to Ed's Metal. It's kind of a short little video here. We had to make a tool today for a project we got going. I'll show you the tool and then I'll show you the project. I'll explain a little bit how I made the tool. It's pretty much self-explanatory, but anyway, we'll get to it here. Well, here's the tool I made. As you can see, it's a split set collar, 1 3/4 ID, and it's got a 3/8 pin through it. Well, the project I'm working on, I got to remove a hydraulic fitting from a piston, and it goes into the rod is what it goes into, and of course you got to hold the rod from spinning so you can get the fitting off. But anyway, I had this smaller spanner wrench on there. As you can see, I sheared the pin right off of it, yanking on it, but I filed it down and it don't seem too hard. I'm going to try and repair that. It's pretty handy little tool, so we'll get her fixed up again. But anyway, this one here, we'll go back and take a look at what we're going to use it on. But anyway, I just welded this piece of, this is drop off of something that I cut off, and pretty substantial bar. Got it welded around the set collar. When I was doing my welding, I actually had the set collar clamped around this 1 3/4 shaft like this one is. I don't know, I made this adapter for some other use. I don't remember what for, but anyway, I had this set collar snug around there, and holding it round while I did the welding on it so it didn't pull out of shape. Welded it and let it sit overnight, so I made sure that it was going to be all right. But now we'll take this back here and we'll show you what we're going to be going on here. It's always fun around the shop with all the old equipment, old tools, and old operator. So this is what we got back here. Got my little Hyster forklift. This is a nice little machine. I've had it for probably 12 years, I think. But it's a little 2,500 pound space saver. It's a nice size for around my shop. A lot of the forklifts are too damn big for anything, but it's got a 2-stage mass on it. And if you can see there, there's the first stage cylinder, and then there's the second stage cylinder. Goes to the top of the mast. Anyway, this one, you can see I had this cylinder rebuilt in 2018, 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago now, but it cost me a fortune to have that rebuilt. So at that time I didn't know if the machine was even worth that much money, but I've got a lot of use since then. Well, now the second stage mass shot a seal out in the top here. But anyway, sorry for the bad lighting, but you can see here's the rod, and there's a 3/8 hole in the rod, and this is the fitting we're trying to get out here. That fitting actually goes through this bracket here, and that's what holds the rod in place, I guess. There's a steel hydraulic line that loops out here and goes down into that first stage cylinder, so they must work in conjunction. I'm no forklift expert, by the way, but I figured this cylinder I'd tear out of here and tear it apart, and we got a pretty good seal supply company in town that they're really helpful to amateurs like me. So Swan Engineering is the name of them, but no sponsorship, just that's where I'm going to go and hope I can find seals for this, because I don't know the cost of of having to rebuild this cylinder. All I know is that bottom one was very expensive. I paid more to have that cylinder rebuilt than I paid to get the forklift in the first place. So you know, you gotta somewhere along the line draw a line and turn it to scrap. But anyway, we'll see if we can get this this wrench mounted on that rod and give it a yank and see what happens. I'm hoping between the pin through here and the crimp on the split collar on the rod, that'll give me twice as much holding force as that little spanner wrench did. Maybe a hell of a lot more than twice. But I'm gonna put a little heat up there on that fitting also. I don't know if it maybe has some Loctite or something on it, but all I know is I've yanked on it pretty hard and it's in there. But anyway, we'll get this mounted up and we'll see what happens here. Bring you back in a bit. Alrighty. Yeah, I hope I got you guys a good vantage point without being in the way anyway. Got my pin lined up on the rod in the hole. Got my split collar clamped tight. Got my 1.5 inch deep well socket. I don't have a 3/4 drive, so adapter to 1/2 inch drive. And I got a breaker bar down here. I got out my big snap-on impact, see if that'll make any difference. Sometimes it hits pretty hard. Anyway, we're going to heat this fitting up a little bit and give her a shot, see what happens. Just using some MAP gas to heat it up. Don't want to get it real hot, but just if it does have some kind of thread sealing on it, we'll try to get it warmed up enough to loosen that stuff. I don't know, this is kind of a strange setup. I'm not a forklift mechanic, I think I stated that already, but we're going to see what happens here. We get it hot enough to burn a little of that paint off, we'll know we're pretty warm. Got the brace going up against the mast here, so that's going to be hopefully good and tight. Give some torque on this thing. Don't got to worry about the seals down there, they're already bad. Kind of cold out today, so it'll take a while to maybe get a little heat in this thing. It's going to be really cold around this area next week, so I know this is the unheated part of my shop, so I got to take advantage of a little bit warmer weather when I can. In emergencies, I just put up a little propane heater to keep me warm, but this is not an emergency yet anyway. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little smoke out of there, so I'm actually getting a little bit warm. This is all 1.5 inch fitting, or wrench size. And I had to go borrow a 1.5 inch deep socket. I got an 1.5 inch standard socket, but it didn't quite reach it. All right, we got her pretty warm, I think. Set this socket on here. Let's see what happens. Holy smokes, spun it right out. Being on YouTube was good luck, I guess. Here's what we got. Man, that's a weird looking fitting. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes down into the top of that rod. The fluid goes through the center of the rod on this cylinder, so I suppose that's some oddball thing. Got a U O-ring on the bottom of it. I don't think I got it warm enough. I'm gonna go cool this off real quick so I don't hurt that O-ring. Alrighty guys, that was a success. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey, a little homemade tool journey and a little mechanic journey, but hope you enjoyed that. We'll get down off this ladder and take a good look at other things. Alrighty, we pulled that up out of there. You can see the top of that rod. I got to take my homemade spanner holder thing off, but it pulled right up out of that mounting bracket. Now all I got to do is find the bolt on the bottom of it. It feels like it's just kind of a loose fit down there, and try to lift it out of here with something. Anyway, thanks for joining along on this video. It's always fun to dig into crap like this. Like I said, when you have old stuff, you got to work on it all the time, and when you got an old operator, you got to work on it twice as much. Anyway, thanks for joining along, and we'll catch you on the next one. Like and subscribe if you will. Later.